Today I am at Meta, one of the only big tech companies which was founded by a software engineer and is still led by a software engineer. Today we will get to see how a software engineer led culture brought Meta to where it is right now, because you would not believe Meta is one of the only companies where even if you are just a fresh grad software engineer, you could potentially make even more money than a senior software engineer because of your impact and your performance. Let me tell you how this software engineer led culture drives innovation.
I'm of the belief that values are only useful when they're controversial.
Because as per even the product managers of Meta, they are just to give vision, strategy, but engineers carry most of the project management responsibility and create their own tasks. It is one of the most unique culture. That's why they have the highest perks for software engineers. So this is the Meta campus. Wow, that is building number 22, the most famous. I met Mark Zuckerberg right there, and these are building 22 and 23. So this is the Messenger building. Incredible. Welcome everyone to the Meta campus. यहाँ पे bikes हैं, these are very special. So these bikes are the ones. There's a lock as well so that no one can steal them. This is incredible because Google में I think it's different. They have no locks and they hire guards so that no one steals them. But यहाँ पे only Meta employees with their ID can unlock and ride from one building to another. And Meta was designed by the Disney creators, and ये बिल्कुल एक maze की तरह लगता है, and workstations are hidden. So beautiful designs. Wall, here is the Facebook wall. यहाँ पे तेलुगु भी लिखी हुई है. Incredible. Things are actually blocks on each other. It's so cool. It's like cubes. Dicing cubes on each other. And this is also the most premium micro kitchen you have ever seen. यहाँ पे premium snacks are like bananas, apples, and fridge में of course drinks तो free आएंगी. Plus they have premium nuts which are my favorite, like pistachios, almonds, orbit, chewing gum, everything is free. It's so incredible. I'm just amazed. And ये protein bar भी बहुत premium है. This video will teach you how they plan to, create innovation to the next level, and at the same time remove the mid-level software engineers, which can actually be done thanks to AI and AI agents. Let me walk you through the entire software engineering process. But first of all, a quick disclaimer that the success that Meta has right now, it's not just because of software engineering culture. You would say that, oh, let's just apply this software engineering culture and apply to any company, it will grow like this. Because they had an unfair advantage at the time as well, because they were one of the few first apps when smartphone was launched, and they made right thing at the right time, and thanks to this software engineering culture, they were able to deliver things really fast, which accelerated their growth. A typical morning for tech workers is super chaotic, full with overflowing emails, inboxes, task updates, and back-to-back meetings. But imagine turning chaos to clarity with Monday.com. Just look at it first, clean and organized, that you don't miss a single update. Now with Monday.com, no more scrambling through emails or missing deadlines. Prioritize urgent tickets, automate reminders, and collaborate effortlessly all in one place. Real-time dashboards keep every project on track right here, as you can see, and eliminate last minute stress. At the end of the day, tasks are done, goals are met, and instead of burnout, you feel very accomplished. Let me show you my favorite feature, which is automations. Basically, you can automate anything. So let's say if I start with add automation button, I can basically choose, let's say, one task when it is completed and do anything with it. Send an email, send a Slack message, notify a colleague. Anything you want to will be automated, and the process will be marked done automatically. And if you're serious about becoming a 10x developer, go check out Monday.com and clean up your workflow and automate everything right now. Now, first of all, why the heck they have the highest software engineering perks? You may have heard that they had laundry at one point of time. It is cancelled now. They even had childcare for your kids at one point of time, so you can go with your kids to office. They had way many perks you cannot even imagine. 50 plus restaurants in office. But other than that, if I show you even the salary perks, you would be blown away. And the reason why they have highest perks, let me show you the reason first. The reason is that they know that
software engineers can carry out the best innovation. Most product managers said that, software engineers understand the product better, so they can, figure out a feature and lead it forward. For example, they have hackathons very frequently, like other companies, but hackathons incorporated to one of the features that we use right now in Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, and even in AR VR. For example, Facebook Live feature went into Facebook because of a hackathon project which some software engineer came up with. So majority of the innovation, at least in the beginning of Meta, and majority of it even right now, is brought up by software engineers. Of course, bureaucracy. What is bureaucracy? Bureaucracy is when you hire more managers than software engineers. That also happened in Meta because of Cambridge Analytica. When privacy questions came to Meta, when after the presidency and after Brexit, it was all blamed on Meta. After that, they had to hire significant people for the privacy team, so the product you make goes through the privacy reviewal process, so that no more mistakes happen like it happened for Cambridge Analytica. But okay, bureaucracy apart, now let me show you the perks. So now perks starts with these performance reviews. I told you, right? As I told you, an entry level software engineer at Meta can possibly make more money than senior software engineers, and it has happened many times, because earlier you are in your career, you have everything to give to the company. More early level software engineers add more to the innovation. So let me first start with the performance bonuses. So let's say your base pay is 140K, which is very popular at Menlo Park campus in Silicon Valley. Signing bonus per year $50,000 to $60,000, and performance bonus, I'm going to show you performance bonus soon. So the performance bonus is actually for IC3 is the entry level software engineer for Meta. So IC3, it stands for individual contributor, but right now they are called just E3, which means engineer 3. So you can use both terms. Both terms are interchangeably used in Meta. So E3, 15%. This bonus is actually when you meet expectation. I'm going to show you the chart as well. So this bonus for an entry level software engineer is when you meet expectation. So for example, these are the levels that Meta has. Number one, does not meet expectation. You get zero bonus, zero equity. Meets some expectation, still zero. Meets most expectation, 85%. Meets all expectation, 100% of bonus. This is cash bonus. 100% means that you will get 100% of your 15% bonus. So let's say that you make 140K salary. So I'm going to walk you through with examples. So let's say you make 145K salary. Now in this case, you would get 15% of your bonus. That becomes 21,750. This is coming from 15%. And your target equity refresher assigned at this level is $60,000. Now, let me tell you what happens when you exceed expectation. First of all, when you exceed expectation, something interesting happens, that your target bonus, so it was 100% for meets, it becomes 125%. So when you exceed expectation, so what's going to happen is you're going to get 1.25. 125% means 1.25, but for stock it doesn't become 1.25, it becomes actually 2x. So you have more incentive to have a bigger impact to make better you help the company, and bigger is your awards. Imagine $120,000 stock you can get just by exceeding expectations. Like if I show you the rest of the charts, you will be blown away. You can even get 300%. It used to be in 2021, but now it's 250% of that bonus. So let's say your bonus is like 21,750. You can multiply by 2. That's the highest you can get for cash. 250%. You can multiply by 2.5. So around 40, 50,000 you can get cash bonus. And for stock bonus, you can get up to 3x for this $180,000 stock bonus, which will vest again in 4 years. So you will get every 4 years, you will get 25% of that. It's just mind blowing. It's unimaginable. And when you join the company, the stock you get is $60,000, $50,000 per year anyway. So your salary, it becomes, let me show you the total. So let's say, let's consider you're just meeting expectations. So just add the total. Let's say you make 145K plus you're just meeting, let's say 22K your cash bonus, and then your equity just for meeting expectation, it is 60K. But when you join in, you get entry level RSUs as well. Let's say you get that 40 to 50k. So this is your salary after the end of first year, which becomes around 280k almost, which is mind blowing. And if you exceed expectations, it can even reach up to 400k. Can you just imagine that? And now let me show you, this salary doesn't come easy, what you have to go through to make this salary.
Now दोस्तों, welcome to the classical campus of Meta. So यहाँ पे there is bike shop. You can get your bikes fixed here. You can buy a bike here, rent a bike here. It is crazy. Plus all the vibe of this side is indie vibe. ऐसा लगता नहीं है corporate building है. It seems like कि आप घर बैठे हो या फिर you're in a village because there are cow sign, there's cow milk, there is ice creams, there is all the food here which is very special. For example, यहाँ का menu बहुत change होता रहता है. कभी-कभी कुछ restaurants बंद होते हैं, कभी कुछ खुले होते हैं. For example, there is sometimes Asia special and they have almost 50 plus restaurants on campus. Some are open some days, some are not, but variety is insane. One of the best food I've had in any campus, I think Google का जो आपने बादल restaurant देखा होगा, that is almost my top of the list, but it's so competitive with Meta. It's amazing.
The biggest perk what I see is bigger than other companies is like wellness reimbursement discount, $3,000 a year. You get refunds for gym and other, wellness, health, mental health, etc. And other perks which are extra other than other companies is Lyft credits. Like you can get, it's like Uber, you get $200 per month. If you, let's say you drove to the campus, you forgot your laptop, take Uber, go back home and bring your laptop. So these are really fascinating perks as well. So first of all, I'm going to show you this chart. This is the levels chart for software engineers. So E3, E4, E5, this is like entry level, mid-level and senior software engineers. Remember, Meta is planning to remove mid-level. I'll show you how that's going to happen later after AI, maybe by the end of this year. So first of all, E6 onwards and later, it could be tech lead, it could be some specialized roles. We're not going to talk about E6 and onwards. We're just going to focus on these three for now: entry, mid, and senior. So how it starts is, if you look at the senior software engineer, they are responsible for end-to-end impact. So what happens is, their direction is project direction. They drive the projects from idea to shipping. They do everything what product manager you can imagine, think of. They come up with an idea. I want to, let's say, make Facebook video live feature. I want to, make live stream feature. They will create the idea and they will ship it. They will present it and take it forward. Sometimes it's so fast that it used to go within one approval. In the past, within one approval, it used to be shipped just single-handedly by the senior software engineer. And now you would imagine what an entry-level software engineer is going to do. E3. So E3 is not assigned work by the manager. There is actually a term that is used at Meta. Managers are not actually managers. They are called manager support engineers. No manager says that I manage team X. Managers are trained to say that I support team X, because most of the pressure, it comes from within the software engineer. So coming back to E3. So E3, what that software engineer is doing. So that software engineer is actually asking all the senior software engineers. So let's say in that team, there are 4 to 5 senior software engineers. They're going to ask, hey, can I help you in your project? Can I help you in your project? You will ask and pitch all those senior software engineers and ask for project and give them ideas, take the vision forward to senior software engineer. And that's how you come up with bottom up approach. You are asking for project, you're not given a project. Now, the problem that happens is, जो लोग work life balance के बारे में सोचते हैं, they often say that they often tell their manager, मुझे जितना काम दिया गया था, I did that. And usually that's not going to work here. You just can't say that I just did what my manager asked me to do. In this environment, that is not possible. Every engineer is now also mini product manager. Of course, each team has a product manager, but that PM acts as a mini CEO for the team, outlining the team vision and prioritizing projects. But a lot of flexibility is for engineers and to take the impact forward. Now, the biggest benefit of this idea is you create your own work-life balance and the pressure is really high on you. So the issue with 6 months performance was, this was, their vision they posted on their office, 6 months or 30 years. There's also a Parkinson's bias called the amount of time you allot to the project, it usually takes longer than that. So, shorter time spans you create, you can maybe finish it in 1.2x of that. So that's the idea, and a focus on short term wins. But there was a lot of administration strain in the 6 month performance cycle, so that's why they ended up with one year. So engineers probably needed to plan it in 1 month, ship it in 3 months, measure in 1 month, and document the results. So it was too much work, so he made it to 1 year. This is the cycle how it used to be in 6 months. Lot of panic in June and lot of panic in December. But now the panic would be once a year now, at least for senior software engineers. Here is the catch. So if you are an E3 position, no project, you get laid off. There is no performance improvement plan anymore. Usually what used to happen was, let's say you are not performing well, you didn't finish your projects on time after 1 year, you go in performance improvement plan, and usually Meta was giving enough support to the not performing engineers. But Amazon was known for that, they don't even care about low performers, they have to grow up on their own and then come up. But Meta was giving a good support to low performers, but now that's over. Starting now, they just lay off. Right now this year, 5% of software engineers at Meta got laid off, and most of them were low performers. Good thing is they don't do stacking. Usually 10-15 years ago, stacking was very popular. Usually what used to happen was, you rank your software engineers. This is my best software engineer, and these are my last 10-15% of my software engineers. It used to be like that toxic. You just put last 10% or 5% in performance improvement plan or lay them off. But Meta doesn't do that. Meta has set the bar. If you cross that bar higher, you are given bonus. If you are not performing up to this bar, if you are lowering that bar, you get into performance improvement plan, but now you just get kicked out. So there is more pressure. You have to drive innovation yourself, and there is pressure. If you don't get enough projects, if you don't enough innovate, you are just kicked out. And in this performance cycle, what I learned about Meta was, the fascinating thing is they focus on numbers. Earlier, they used to be like, more code changes, more number of PRs you create, that's equivalent to your impact plus what change you brought, how it benefited the company with feature delivery. That's how they used to measure. But what I learned after that, as per pragmatic programmer, so there's a good Hart's law. When a measure becomes a target, it ceases to be a good measure. So, let's say if you just targeting number of PRs you create, people heavily focus on the number and they create some useless PRs with just some refactoring. So that number is not really benefiting the company. So that's why the company changed the vision to not just focus on this number, to focus on three things. Number one, numbers of changes you do. Number two, the result it makes, how it helps the senior software engineer if you are entry level. And number three, how it's going to potentially help the company in bringing more customers and revenue. So with these three metrics, they figure out how good the change is. Because sometimes you write one line of code for a bug, which may take months and or maybe weeks for you, and it might seem easy for a product manager or a project manager, but it actually took work. Now, what are the cons of working in this culture?
What I really mean by move fast is that I want to empower people at the company to try things out. And I don't demand that every iteration of what we release is perfect. What I want to optimize for is learning the most and having the best products 3, 5, 7 years from now.
Number one con is they don't have good processes. They don't write comments. They don't have enough documentation. It's a very fast-paced culture, unlike Amazon and Google. So they don't have rigid processes. So that's why the learning curve to enter a team could be higher. And number two is that they've again too much focus on numbers. Focusing on numbers and creating more features can put a lot of pressure on you, because still they measure the number of features you deliver. If another software engineering is delivering more features, you lose the race. So this pressure is there at Meta. What I checked when I talked to the software engineers there. Something fascinated me about Meta is they actually encourage cross-functional collaborations. You are free to, it's an open space. You're free to talk to other teammates. And like, for example, Apple is so exclusive. iPhone team can barely talk to Apple Watch team as an example, because they have secrets, they don't want products to leak. This is just an example. They have like very, very privacy focused teams, but at Meta, you can walk into other team and collaborate with them. So they don't frown upon collaborations with other team, and it actually helps you because if two different teams are collaborating to come up with a different project, it helps both the teams, and you get extra points because you are actually giving a impact which is cross team level. But one thing you have to remember is Meta is actually individualistically driven. I'll tell you how they came up with this idea.
You know, there are companies that write out these value statements that I think are kind of meaningless because they're table stake stuff. I mean, it's like, be honest. It's like, of course you're going to be honest. I mean, that's not a choice, right? That's not a value. You have to be honest, right? I mean, like, go home if you're not honest. But if move fast is good because it's something that people can actually disagree with.
It is individualistic culture. Your work, what you did, is more important than how the team grew. So it's at the end of the day, you are solo being judged upon. No matter you made the other person happy, the team went well, because the bonus is to you, not for the team. And this whole culture was very much inspired. I'm going to show you the culture now. Okay, so this culture, their principles, these were created and inspired by Kaizen technique. I'll tell you soon. So these principles are give people a voice so that everyone has a voice. Software engineers can bring up ideas and take it forward. Bring connection, serve everyone. These are, and especially privacy, as you know. And these are inspired by Kaizen. So what happened in the 90s and 80s was a company in the US called GM, General Motors, was struggling. And Toyota from Japan came up with the technique called Kaizen technique. You may have read about it in many books like Atomic Habits, 1% improvement every day. So Kaizen technique says that you have to allow your employees to give you ideas and focus on improving 1% every day. Whether it is like in manufacturing, they did a principle like, oh, they have a drilling machine just out which can cause an accident, putting it in the right places, like small changes, keeping this thing organized every day. When they were trying to make themselves better 1% every day, and creating a space where employees can suggest changes and take it forward by suggesting to their managers. Same is implemented in so many companies, and it has been implemented in Meta as well. So it's a mind-blowing culture. I'm deeply inspired, and this is how Meta, run by Mark Zuckerberg, is being taken forward. I hope you learned something new. So that is it. Don't forget to check out monday.com in the description below, and thank you so much for watching. Now the big question comes, how Meta is going to remove half of the mid-level software engineers, or maybe all of them. The goal is to remove one layer of software engineers at the junior level or mid-level or senior, most likely the junior level, and make mid-level do more work and double their workload. And that's how most companies are planning, just by giving people more work because of AI and AI agents. And if you're serious about actually making your workflow 10x, monday.com is the first platform you would love to use. Go check out in the description below.